An 18-month-old baby boy was lying face down at the bottom of a swimming pool. His lips were turning blue. His tiny body wasn't moving. Every second that passed made survival less likely. But his mother refused to give up. The question is, did she save him in time? Let's dive into the story. Before we begin, your follow and share are what keep these stories alive. Help us spread hope. It was a beautiful November afternoon in South Africa. Thandokazi Nzima was at home with her 2 young children. Her daughter was playing inside. Her 18-month-old son Sekani was nearby. Just a normal, peaceful day. The kind of day that changes in an instant. Thandokazi stepped away for just a moment. Maybe 30 seconds. Maybe a minute. That's all it takes. That's all it ever takes. When she came back, Sekani was gone. Her heart stopped. She called his name. Nothing. She ran through the house. Nothing. And then she saw him. At the bottom of their family pool, floating face down. Completely still. Every parent's worst nightmare had just become her reality. Thandokazi didn't scream. She didn't freeze. She didn't waste a single second. She jumped into that pool, pulled her baby out, and laid him on the ground. His lips were blue. His eyes were closed. He wasn't breathing. But Thandokazi had something most parents don't have in that moment. She had training. As a mining engineer, she'd been required to learn CPR. She'd practiced on dummies dozens of times, but she'd never done it on a real person, and certainly never on her own child. Her hands were shaking. Her mind was racing, but she forced herself to focus. She tilted Sekani's head back. She checked his airway. She started chest compressions. But here's the thing about CPR training. They teach you on adult-sized mannequins. Sekani was 18 months old. Barely 20 pounds. Thandokazi had to adjust everything. Less pressure. Smaller breaths. She didn't know if she was doing it right. She didn't know if it was enough. Time became distorted. Seconds felt like hours. Each compression felt like it was taking forever. She kept checking. Is he breathing? Is his chest moving? Is there a pulse? Nothing. So she kept going. Compressions. Breaths. Compressions. Breaths. She prayed with every push on his tiny chest. Please, God. Please. Not my baby. Please. And then, after what felt like an eternity, Sekani coughed. Water came out of his mouth. His chest moved. He gasped for air. He was breathing. Thandokazi didn't celebrate. She didn't relax. She knew he wasn't safe yet. Drowning victims can seem fine and then crash hours later. Something called secondary drowning. She needed to get him to a hospital immediately. She called for help. Within minutes, a Netcare 911 helicopter was on its way. The sound of those rotors approaching was the most beautiful sound she'd ever heard. Paramedics landed in a nearby field. They rushed to Sekani. They stabilized him, and then they airlifted him to the hospital. Thandokazi watched that helicopter disappear into the sky, carrying her son. She didn't know if he'd suffered brain damage. She didn't know if there would be permanent effects. She didn't know if he'd even make it through the night. All she could do was pray and wait. At the hospital, doctors ran every test. They monitored his oxygen levels. They watched for swelling in his brain. They checked his lungs for water. Hour after hour, Thandokazi sat by his bedside, holding his tiny hand, watching every breath. And then, slowly, miraculously, Sekani started to improve. His oxygen levels normalized. His brain scans came back clear. His lungs started to clear. By the next morning, he was sitting up. By the afternoon, he was smiling. Within days, Sekani was released from the hospital, completely recovered. No brain damage, no lung damage, no lasting effects whatsoever. The doctors called it a miracle. But Thandokazi knew the truth. It wasn't just a miracle. It was preparation meeting desperation. It was training meeting terror. It was a mother who refused to let her son die. The Netcare 911 team later told Thandokazi that her quick actions and CPR knowledge saved Sekani's life. Those first few minutes are everything. If she'd panicked, if she'd frozen, if she hadn't known what to do, the outcome would have been completely different. Today, Sekani is a healthy, happy little boy. He plays with his sister. He runs around the house. He has no memory of that day. But Thandokazi remembers every single second. She sees it in slow motion. She feels the weight of his body when she pulled him from the water. She hears the silence before he started breathing again. And she wants every parent to know something. This can happen to anyone. It doesn't matter how careful you are. It doesn't matter how much you watch your kids. Water is silent and fast. Drowning doesn't look like the movies. There's no splashing, no screaming, but here's what you can control: being prepared. Thandokazi never imagined she'd need to use CPR on her own child. Most parents never do. But when that moment came, her training kicked in. Her knowledge saved her son's life. Every parent should know CPR. Every caregiver, every babysitter, every grandparent. Because you never know when those few minutes of training will mean the difference between life and death. Thandokazi says she thanks God every single day for the training she received, for the calm she somehow found, for the helicopter that came so quickly, for the doctors who cared for her son, and for the second chance she was given. Sekani is here today because his mother knew what to do and refused to give up. She performed CPR through her terror. She stayed calm through her panic. She saved her son's life. This story isn't just about a near drowning. It's about the power of preparation. It's about the strength mothers find when their children's lives are on the line. It's about never giving up, even when every second feels hopeless. If this story moved you, follow Doparenting for more real, powerful family stories. Share this video to remind other parents that CPR training saves lives. Because the life you save might be your own child's.